Okay, hello everyone. Screen might look a little different because it is different. I'm shooting this on my laptop in the kitchen here because my 10-year-old PC, I think, may have finally kicked the bucket in there that I do. That's why I was late getting all the videos up for the scopes this month, because it's been giving me problems, but I've been able to just kind of get it rolling for an hour at a time before it would crash, and I was, it's been a long time coming, and today I don't think I'm going to get it fired up anymore, so we're going to have to go with this. I'm looking through the viewfinder. It doesn't look too terrible. Maybe I could zoom in a little. Maybe that'll help a little. There we go. So this is the eclipse. Here it is, the full moon eclipse, and it's occurring on October 8th, 2014. 6:51 Eastern, but of course times will vary. And it's kind of like a throwback to what I was talking about in the last video. And if you have time, you might want to watch the last one, because there's definitely the energy of the Libra Aries axis. I mean, it's on full throttle here. The full moon is at 15 Aries opposed to Sun at 15 Libra. So this is going on. And it's not the only thing going on. As you can see, there's all sorts of, this energy going back and forth in the middle here. All these oppositions. So oppositions. And the nature in general of, you oppose somebody, right? And then just Aries, Libra, 1st and 7th house, me and you. Myself, the other. 7th house is also open enemies, your enemies. Now, this chart is set up like that. We've got Libra in the 1st and Aries in the 7th, excuse me. But what I'm really referring to is just in the flat wheel. Aries rules the 1st house, Libra rules the 7th. But at any rate, it's like that, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. When I look at this, these points, everything points to Aries, and that is the position of the eclipse point. All these arrows are kind of pointing. This thing is hard to use, the thingy. Maybe I could use something like a pen or something as a pointer. Why don't we try that? Or a pencil. Here's a pencil. A pencil. That'll work. Okay, so it's like this back and forth, energy over here, and there's this the Aries energy, and it's absolutely conjunct Uranus. Okay, it's absolutely conjunct Uranus within less than a minute. 1429, 1505. So we are conjunct Uranus big time here. So Uranus, unexpected, out of the blue, electric. What I was going to say, I skipped ahead, but I wanted to talk a little bit about these points. These points on the thing here. It's aspects, obviously. It's at trines and squares and whatever, but these points, there's like 3 of them. And it's like it's pointing in this direction. And it's like it's flying through the air to me. Like these are arrows flying through the air, coming from Libra and Scorpio to some degree, and over to Aries. So it's almost like the 8 of rods in the tarot, where all the rods are flying through the air, and it can be, the arrows of love are hitting your mark, but this is a little bit of a different dynamic, I would say. But what we can say is air will meet fire. The other will affect the one, okay? And what I'm feeling like is air is mental, okay? Air is thinking, speaking, writing, talking. And so your words will reach the person. Your thoughts will reach the person. Your another, say. And I'm feeling like it could be a cautionary tale here. I'm feeling like you need to watch what you say, because there's a big element of war. Pluto's squaring this, and this is not only is this a throwback to, and I want you, if you don't watch the other video, reconsider what was going on in April. Because there's lots of things. There was the Jupiter. There's like 3 different big things that are going on that refer back to the time of April. That's when Pluto went retrograde. That was one of the things, and Pluto's involved in this. There was something about the Jupiter aspects too. I can't recall it right now, but it all ties back to, it was the last time maybe there was a square. I don't want to guess. So, but there's a lot of energy throwing us back into April, and I think everybody could benefit from reflecting back on what was going on in April. How far have you come? That was also the other eclipses too in the spring, you know, basically. So it's like the spring and the fall. I talked a lot about the tween times in the last video. But here, you know, what's going on between then and now? How far have you come? What is being resolved now? Because, okay, astrology 101, a full moon eclipse is something's going to be eclipsed out of your life, okay? But the full moon is still a full moon, right? And it's like culmination, coming to a head, you know, things coming to a head. So things maybe that were happened in the spring, there could be some kind of resolution, conclusion happening at this time, because that's what the full moon does besides take things away. You know, it's actually after the full moon point when the things are taken away in just, you know, regular old non-eclipse stuff, you know. It's the waxing and the waning. The waxing is for manifestation, the waning is for releasing, right? And so once the full moon hits, it moves, after that it moves into the waning. And that's the taking away, you know, part of it. And as I said in other videos, you know, you don't have to wait to have it taken away. You can initiate it on your own. And for some people it could be something that, you know, maybe you do want to go clean, you want to get rid of a bunch of junk, you know, clean up your house, or you want to lose some weight, or you want to, you know, all these sorts of things that you want to get rid of. This is a great time to do it. You know, so it's not all doom and gloom. And another reason it's not all doom and gloom is because it's a grand trine in fire. So that's some pretty intense kind of good stuff. It's time for action. But you notice that Mars is involved. And I saw the arrows. And then we've got Uranus and all this in Aries. So that's Mars, ruler's Aries, right? God of war. And what I'm seeing is almost like what you would see in a war. You know, things flying through the air. Maybe, you know, missiles. Maybe it's not arrows, maybe it's missiles, you know. And Uranus and Aries, that's the age that we're in with the drones and everything. These electronic things, you know, manned by computers flying through the air to make war, right? But Mars, you know, it's not all about war. There's always a good and a bad, right? There's always a negative and a positive. So, you know, Mars on the positive side, it's initiative. It's go-getter. It's a starter. Forge ahead. You know, damn the torpedoes, or damn the missiles, you know. And these missiles don't have to be in the bigger picture, although I realize that's nothing to laugh about. It's very serious, the things that are going on in this world. But I'm talking about in your personal life. You know, this could be the opposition of other people telling you that, you know, you're crazy. What do you want to do that? Are you crazy? You know, a lot of stuff's been dredging up in my mind about conformity lately. And I've been thinking about doing a video because I'm having all these problems with my computer. So more broadcasts from the universe are coming. I've got quite a long list that I want to do. It's just technology has to cooperate here. But anyway, what was I talking about? I'm sorry. Conformity. Because that's me, my wishes and my goals, first house or Aries in this case, you know, what I want to do, and then the other. You can't always get what you want, you know, to quote Mick Jagger, you get what you need, but the other, you know. And with Libra, it's more not usually somebody's, it's like a pain in your ass, basically. It's more like it's, you know, you want to be considerate of the other. You can't always get what you want. You don't want to be a brat. You know, sometimes the energy of Aries is being a brat and throwing a tantrum, and it's got I want what I want. When, no, you gotta be nice, be cooperative, learn to play nice with others, right? So that's part of this energy too, and it's squaring Pluto. So it's definitely a you know, change. I think though with this grand trine and fire, we could definitely, you know, spark it. Change to make things happen, and action being taken. I'm seeing, like, relating it back to initially I said how these were arrows or missiles flying through the air, like the Eight of Rods in the tarot, which is the arrows of love hitting their mark, but also is take action. It's time to go for it. Time to get things done. You know, there's energy of movement. Things are moving. Pluto's direct. Mercury is retrograde. We'll talk a minute about that, but you know, some of these big dogs are moving direct here, like Pluto and that, and some of these outer planets. Now, Uranus is still in retrograde. But Jupiter, fire signs. Fire is action, spark, make it happen, do it. Jupiter is the great benefactor. Jupiter with Mars and Uranus, that could be something really great. And it's quick too. Uranus is lightning fast. You could get a flash of brilliance, and you need to act on it right away. Jupiter's the great benefactor in Leo. So, people of importance. Jupiter in Leo in the old days was like a sign of, royalty, I believe. And there's other stuff, Regulus, and there's other stuff, but yeah, I believe Jupiter in Leo is the sign of the king, or the royalty, or the person who is, the ruler, or has the power. Jupiter in Leo has the power to reign over, but to help. Mars. Help with the struggle, even, with Mars. Uranus, unexpectedly, out of the blue. Also in this modern day now, Uranus does, of course, rule over, electronics. Rules the internet, rules all that good stuff. Texting, internet, all the stuff, electronic media. So that, in turn, instead of talking about Uranus and Aries being about, the drone strikes, right? Well, what's the positive side of this? Well, everybody communicating and being live, all the time. And action can be taken right away, things like that. Okay, I do want to talk about Mercury going retrograde because, as I said before, I was tuning into this air, your words, your thoughts, your deeds affecting the person, the individual, whether you or whoever. Well, what rules words, thoughts, and deeds? Mercury, right? So Mercury is just turned retrograde, and it's in Scorpio. So this is the deep, dark stuff. A lot of times when a planet's retrograde, it can bring as I've said many times, there's a positive and negative manifestation of every planet, right? And sometimes the retrograde can bring out the negative side of a dark side, which would totally be the case with Scorpio, right? The deep subconscious stuff. But I'm feeling like I really want to tell everybody, think before you speak. Because I really feel like you could just, blurt something out without even thinking about it. And, it could hurt somebody or hurt you. It could come back to you. Or I would be careful with the retrograde and the Scorpio about not a good time to be gossip. Well, it's probably never a good idea to gossip. But don't talk, talk smack about anybody. Because they're going to come back to you. Or be careful who you confide in general, not even if it's just talking about somebody else, but even revealing your own Mercury, Scorpio, deep inner thoughts, but be careful. Think twice about who you confide in, because they might just blab it all over the place. That's Libras, sometimes they can be a little blabbermouthy, it's I'm not trying to be mean, but it's true. Okay, so that energy. But, another thing I wanted to touch on about this, that could be a bright spot in all this, is we do have Venus moving into conjunct the Sun. It's opposing that eclipse point. So Venus, that always does bring, a better vibration. Venus is the goddess of love and beauty, and in ruler of Libra as well. So again, she's in her own placement. She's in Libra. And empowered. When a planet is in its own place, that's not the correct terminology, but it has more power when it's in its own sign. And it is Venus, and the Sun is there too, and the node. So the node is what we are supposed to do in life, but may be challenging. And Aries, in South Node, not only being the past, our either past lives or our own past behaviors, but it's always to what we kind of revert back to on automatic pilot. It's not even what we just do without thinking. So maybe we do without thinking. We want to change those patterns. We want to take a more, the positive side of Libra, congenial, kind, fairness, consideration and fairness of others, By the same token, before we get off of this gossiping and stuff here, I got this vibe like you could find out somebody's been talking smack about you, or said something about you, or and it, depending on where it is in your chart, it could fall in all areas of life. It doesn't even have to be your friends or your family. It could be somebody at work, or ratted you out, or busted you, or something. Turned you in. This is a vibe. This is definitely a vibe here. Another thing I want to look at real quick here is we do have Saturn conjunct Ceres in Scorpio, and that's kind of squaring off with Jupiter there too. I've been saying right along how I feel like, Ceres being the goddess of the grain, that this is about our food. It's about our food, or even just like lack of it. And here's what I want to say with this. Saturn conjunct Ceres, first of all, is saying, we got to address it. Saturn's not going to let you get away. You can't brush things, just blow things off with Saturn. Like, we're going to deal with it, all right? And so we're going to be, some things could be happening. And squaring Jupiter, so as I said before, I'm viewing this Jupiter in Leo as sort of, someone in power or somebody who could make changes. And the vibe I kind of want to say about this is like this could either be like attacking somebody like Monsanto and them denying it, or trying to, I'm the all-powerful and how dare you, try to make it go away. Or it could be them finally having to fess up. And I'm just using Monsanto as, a reference. I honestly don't know a lot about this, but there's many people who do and are working on it. And this is important, and food's important. So Saturn, we can't continue to, and lack. That's another thing I just never get, There is enough food to feed everybody in the world. And there's no reason that people should be starving and stuff. There is just no reason. If you go out on trash day and you look at people's garbage cans, all the food that just gets thrown out, or in restaurants and stuff, that is just crazy that there are people starving. And here we throw food out like nobody's business, it's like nothing. So these kind of things could come to fold. With the Jupiter and Leo too, I keep seeing like a crown. I just keep seeing like a crown. So maybe it is having to do with some, I don't often get like world things, but maybe it is having to do with somewhere that still has a monarchy, stepping in to help something or do something else. Or maybe sometimes when I see those crowns, it's just like some other symbol, like a company logo or whatever. But at any rate, this is something. This is going to be addressed. And, Scorpio is going to get in there. You can't hide it or sugarcoat it with Saturn and Scorpio. No, that's not going to fly. Libra, maybe. Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll just, okay, that sounds good. Just agree to appease somebody. Not Scorpios, they're not gonna. And Scorpios are fixed, too, and they stand their ground. It's like, no. They call a spade, right? Call you out on your bullshit, basically, So there's that energy going on. And it not only plays into the royalty or whoever, it plays in, it's energies that are affecting us all. And kind of bringing about that agitation, Sometimes with the Jupiter Grand Trine and Fire, what kind of action are you going to take, too, here, Are you going to take action for the good, or are you going to get into it? This could just add fuel to the fire, because there's a lot of, quite a bit of conflict energy, honestly, going on here, too. And it's also, I don't know if that's semi-sextile or whatever, it's making this 14 and 15, it's making an aspect to Chiron here, too. And Chiron, I wouldn't call that an orb. They have it squaring the Saturn, but I would say that's not an orb. Oh, excuse me, it is squaring Mars, though. I knew I wanted to look at that for some reason. Yeah, Chiron is squaring Mars. So, healing. Maybe healing in a harsh way, too. Maybe, and it's not always, maybe we want to blame it on the other, but it comes from within. Maybe we don't understand a lot of things. I don't understand. I don't understand why I manifested. I'm taking responsibility. I believe that I manifested these illnesses that I went through this summer, but I still don't really know why. And, it all comes down to you, as Joni Mitchell said, and you gotta, that's Aries. That's, me. I'm saying me, but it's you. It's the self. The eclipse in Aries is the self. So another part of this could be, instead of getting pissed off, instead of blaming the other, oh, it was your fault, you did it. It's all your fault. You can take responsibility for the self. Release, what you could be releasing is all this blame and baggage stuff, maybe. Maybe that could be a positive spin on how we could handle this energy. Pluto's releasing. Saturn in Scorpio is, getting rid of old stuff, building new foundations. Chiron is deep wound healing. Patterns that we're in for long periods of time with Chiron, I'm beginning to sense. And Mars. So you could turn it into, I'm pissed off, and it's all your fault that my life sucks. My life sucks because you made it that way. No, you made it that way. Come on. You had a part in it. Even if you don't want to go that deep into quantum physics or whatever, you can just say, you played some part in it, right? And even whoever, the person that's treated you like complete dirt, you played some part in it, right? You allowed it to happen, if nothing else, right? And then, of course, if you want to go deeper, there's plenty of room to go much deeper than that, of how we're manifesting it as a reflection of ourselves and all that kind of stuff. But you don't have to go that deep. But I think Aries is me, the self, me, myself, and I. I think a lot of this eclipse is about just kind of fessing up. Fessing up, taking responsibility for your own actions, okay? All right, before we go, of course, I want to hope it'll all come up on here, on the screen. I want to talk about all my stuff here. Can't get away without me talking about my stuff. And this Tapestry of Life mandalas. If you go to my main page and you see this, these things here, that's I've been calling them mandalas or mandalas, however you want to pronounce it. But I ran into something, and I think really what it is a tantra, which I've never heard of. I've seen tantras, but I'd never heard of it. I've heard of tantric sex, of course, but tantras are these patterns that are set up that have to do with your astrology and evolution of your soul. And I think that's totally what it is, because it is kind of like your soul's signature, this Tapestry of Life mandalas, and these are some examples on the site. Of course, the other ones are on the computer that crashed, so I can't get to them. But, they're pretty cool. Each one's different. It's based on your chart, so if you're interested in astrology, you might want to check it out. And on that same page, you can either scroll down or there's direct links. Click here to be taken to the ordering page. You can see all my stuff, all my services are available there, right? First is the mandalas, and then we get into personal readings, 20-minute, half-hour. Soul reading, if you're able to do a live reading, it's probably better. I can pretty much cover everything in the soul reading there. I was thinking about eliminating it, but I'm keeping it because some people just can't be available for a live consultation. And then, of course, these are some really cool, this pointer doesn't work very well, really cool, the KC reports, the past life report, and the flowers, essence, and gem is really cool. It talks about different stones and stuff, oils you can get to balance your energy. The medicine wheel is your animal totems, and then, of course, your year ahead. That's very popular, too. And then below that, at the very bottom, is make a donation. And you can just press there, and any donation is fine. It doesn't have to be large, small, all appreciated, okay? And then the other thing I wanted to tell you about is when you go to my main channel, there is over here, you can see it says my other channels. And there's two that I have featured there. The VB Creative Shorts, which of course is my music channel, has keyboard stuff. I am a keyboard player. It's many, many years of keyboard playing, so I can't even make this work. This computer's not its last leg too. And then below I have some original music if anybody wants to record some of my songs. That would be awesome. And then I have the Learning Songs for Kids children's channel, which is also a really awesome channel. And I wanted to get to the Green Glen. This thing won't even allow me to scroll. Yeah, here it is. Learning Songs for Kids. Cool stuff. Alphabet series. I did one for each thing. And then I have the Green Glen Gang. And then I have some holiday music. So if anybody wants to record the holiday songs, I would love to see that happen. And then last but not least is, of course, Tarot in the Modern World, available on Amazon. It's my tarot book. It's pretty cool. It's easy to understand, and for beginners and more advanced people alike, I think there could be some cool stuff found for everybody. Now I'm trying to get back to the chart, but I can't find it. So we're going to stay here because I'm having problems with my pointer. Let's look at the book. There we go. So anyways, I want to thank you all for watching and liking and sharing and commenting on my videos. And thank you all for the donations. The donations come in, and it really does make it worthwhile to continue on doing, these free readings all the time. Remember that you are love and beauty incarnate. Happy eclipse, and I'll talk to you soon.